What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review a 2006 mixtape by Yo Gotti. Basically, this product is called I Told You So, and it supposedly there's kind of dissenting release dates within this particular mixtape as to when it came out. Rate Your Music, which has a page up on this particular product, says it came out in the spring of 2006, but places like Wikipedia and Google say it came out in the fall of 2006 in November 2006. So some folks say April, some folks say November, but either the spring or fall of 2006. Not really as full-bound sure because the common place, particularly Dat Piff, one of the places that would have hosted that particular mixtape, is no longer available, so pitches like that, but it is still available on the internet. Good type flares with pitches like that. It's a classic mixtape here. This is a Gangsta Grillz, so this has DJ Drama affiliation, pitches like that. Yo Gotti was kind of buzzing around this time in 2006. Now, he did drop a 2006 album, which I reviewed back earlier in 2025, pitches like that, as far as these fairs going to happen. Basically called Back to the Basics, which has some pretty good gems on there, like Gangsta Party and pitch like that. So I probably would say within the fair, I think within the aspect behind it, you would almost think within the pitch that this particular product did come out in the fall of 2006, just within the fair, considering that one of the singles off this particular product is a Gangsta Party remix, which has Young Buck and Cashville All-Star Prince on there, which I don't know why he'd put out the remix before putting out the original on a project, so as far as this first game, but it's still within the commonplace that this might have came out in spring 2006, but I'm thinking more likely it's fall, but just being able to say within the pitch. So as far as saying, yeah, there's 20 songs on this particular mixtape. Out of those 20, I wound up recommending 16. Now, I actually wound up recommending all 20 songs, but 4 of which are songs that you can find on other projects. So those particular songs I'm not going to talk about would be the Freestyle, which is Cashville All-Star Prince freestyle into Jeezy's Air Forces. From Scratch, which is a mixtape type song, does Start From Scratch by The Game. Gangsta Party remix, which has Young Buck and Cashville All-Star Prince on there, and then there's particularly another one which is Body Rock, which is a song flip to the Body Rock song from Big Boy's Got Perp Volume 2, as far as those fairs go. So excellent type pitch. All those are excellent within those fairs, good type products, but the 16 remaining songs I do recommend pretty well on here. Some of these type ones are pretty blistering within these ordeals. Now, within the pitch, there's a couple tastes of like particular kind of 2010s trap as far as these fairs go having just some blistering type ones. Yo Gotti was kind of a cat that kind of the real fair about it is Yo Gotti had been around possibly since as much full bound as even when Tupac was alive, at least since Biggie was alive, but possibly since Tupac was alive as well within those pitches, putting out albums since as far back as 1996, but he did not catch on as full bound kind of capitally until like the late 2000s, early 2010s pitches like that with like the Dat Piff mixtape scene. But he did have like some buzzing ones. He was getting songs with Lil Wayne and folks like that, and Young Buck and a bunch of folks, Cashville All-Star Prince, some of these type folks in particular. Bo Hagen is on this project, so there's fairs like that. I think he got some Lil Jon beats, something within the fair. Yeah, he was on TVT Records, Lil Jon's sub-label, pitches like that in the early and mid-2000s, with at least the 2003 or 2006 ones. So there was a little bit of crunk on like Back to the Basics, fairs like that, but it's kind of the pitch as far as saying he caught on a lot later, but this is one of those type ones that just is a good look, considering that Gangsta Grillz, DJ Drama was pretty full-bound popular throughout the 2000s, so it's just good taste that you do get some of the DJ Drama soul on here, like some of these type folks like Jeezy and Lil Wayne and T.I. typically do pitches like that, so it's a good taste of that. But within the pitch, it does particularly feel interesting for Yo Gotti having some of this mixtape type grit within the pitch, as far as having like a Gangsta Grillz within the format, just because him being more adapted to more of the 2010s type format within the pitch. It's not like he couldn't do it, but he really started to manufacture like banger after banger in like the 2010s. He did have some hits back then. Gangsta Party's pretty slick. Some of these type ones. The song he did with Birdman and Lil Wayne, I forget what that one's called, but I got them. Yeah, I got them with Lil Wayne and Baby pitches like that. So as far as those ordeals can happen, but yeah, good type pitches, good variety of things. So I'm gonna get to talk about some of these. So What Up is nice. This is not as much a full bound type song as much as it is just kind of like ad libs, just kind of in combination of being a song with a good type pitch here. What Up's like a good 2000s gonna trap, swerve through, and post up as far as these fairs gonna happen. Just some neighborhood noise, I'd say, pitches like that. Just kind of chunk the deuce fairs like that. Good swerve. Good later day kind of surfing, just grab like some ruffles, pitches like that, just kind of some easy smokes as far as those fairs go. So just kind of missed the fair. Typical kind of day report and pitches like that as far as these ordeals kind of happen. So excellent type pitch for some of these type ones. Good type formats amongst it. Keep it on the lows, a nice one. It's like a dope 3-6 Mafia style crunk rile up to kind of get here. Just more mild creeping, I'd say, about this one. Just kind of some loaded fun. So within the console, have some drinking. It's just doing good pitches like that. Amidst the fair, just like typical kind of night shift. Very similar to 3-6 Mafia type format, like I was saying, good pitches like that. Just dope as hell, kind of Taco Bell runs, pitches like that within these ordeals. The streetlight buzz, some of those type pitches, just amidst like the DAPA, just sitting on the curb and pitches like that, amidst like the night fair. So it's good type product. Typical type buzz or some of those type aspects. Memphis Walk is a nice one. It's like a buzzed and haphazard kind of basic low-key kind of dance floor white noise kind of get here. Just order some drinks, get some divas right. Good pitches like that as far as these ordeals can have just some good gab as far as these first games. So just within the chatter of it, but it's just kind of the embellish. Some of these type ones, it's kind of the pitch. Yo Gotti would kind of do some of these type moments, but within the pitch as far as saying the aspect, as far as getting, he did have some good gems throughout the 2000s pitches like that, but in terms of like his raw, full-bound kind of commercial kind of breakthrough pitches like that, it was kind of more 2012, 2013, some of the stuff ordeals. He always would get the occasional kind of charting song, was this kind of pitch. If you're expecting like a song from like Yo Gotti around this time, like particularly like, like Soul Survivor, or particularly like Bring 'Em Out, some of those type ones pitches like that, Bring 'Em Out by T.I. or What You Know by T.I., some of those type pitches, he was kind of more playing the field and not so much the full-bound background, but just not as much in the banner type spotlight around this time. But he did have some good gems. Memphis Walk's one of those. This Memphis Walk's good type flair for just like some embellish and like some night venues, just feeling right as far as those pitches kind of having just basic kind of dance floor mingle, good pitches like that. Dope Money's another good one within those aspects, like a feeling right. This is another dope feeling right kind of night activity. Get just some embellish. I would definitely say here, Hall is some definitely within these fairs, goes along pretty well with Memphis Walk. Have a cold one to this, just some good fraternizes as far as these pitch kind of goes. So just miss the aspect. It's kind of good type tones for getting some of this type products. So the pitch behind it, some of these type ones is very dope. That a lot of these songs are original within the formats as far as not just doing strictly like freestyles and just kind of the flip. This is kind of an interesting type format because of the pitch, that it wasn't as super common that there was a gigantic amount of like these particular ones kind of popping off within these aspects. Kind of the fair, the more banner type mixtapes from like Jeezy and Lil Wayne, some of these type folks around this particular time just had different type ones. Previous songs pitches like that. Some of these type fairs was kind of the pitch is like this doesn't really feel like a 2000 type mixtape. I mean, it was circa 2006. This was circa 2006 as far as these fairs can have, but it feels within the product, just the after effect of it just did not really catch as much seemingly full-bound win as it probably needed to. Now, I don't know the certification that it got on DatPiff back in the day, how many downloads this particular product had. It might have had 50,000. I'm not really as full-bound sure. It doesn't really say Wikipedia, or it's not really much articles and information as to the damage that this did, but it was within the fair. I think folks probably did fuck with it in some degree of sense. Later on was kind of pitched just kind of more uncommon within the fair. It's recognizing that this was a Gangsta Grillz pitches like that, good type product. Get Buck is nice on here. Yeah, Get Buck's a nice one on here. It's like a Getting Turned kind of low-key night venue bop to kind of get this like vintage kind of this particular song's like some vintage kind of 2000s 3-6 pitches like that. It's a good song to have like some mixed drinks nearby. Song's a good nice one to have like some mixed drinks nearby, pitches like that, just get some grooves going as far as these pitches are going to go. So there's further type aspects like the night venue type polish pitches like that within these ordeals. And this feels like a familiar type one. This is very similar to like the beat by DJ Khaled, Holla At Me, as far as these pitches can happen. This might have actually been a song. This is a song that I think I've heard in the past. Not just the song Holla At Me by DJ Khaled, but also this particular variation of that beat. It feels familiar. I just can't think it's full bound. I don't know if Yo Gotti had this particular song on Back to the Basics, but it seems like this was a song that popped off somewhere in 2006 within this style that was not the DJ Khaled song. Can't think it's full bound which one it was, but it feels familiar. Might have been Killer Mike, not really as full bound sure, but it does at least have like the typical kind of 3-6 Mafia kind of ad-libs on there, pitch like that. It's kind of the ordeal, but not, it just can't recount, and I don't know if I would be able to recount it by the time I edit this, pitches like that within these ordeals. But yeah, good type song, familiar. Spend It Cause We Got It is nice. This has Yo Gotti with Cashville All-Star Prince, who's kind of his protege within pitch like that. I'm going to have to get some of his type products within the Tone by Excellent type fare. Spend It Cause We Got It's like a basic in-between kind of day hustle, I'd say here. Just collect funds and check off some tasks as far as these pairs, and this collect funds and check off some tasks as far as these fairs can happen. Just kind of day-making moves as far as these fairs going to go. So just miss the pitch. More miss like the lunch rush and day hustle kind of scene pitches like that. Just typical kind of day grip pitches like that as far as these ordeals going to happen, but just to miss the fair. It is good to get some of these grind type songs on here just to miss the day product of it. Cold Game is a nice one for these pitches. This song's like a woozy and biting kind of typical grit to get within the products of it here. Getting along but successfully as far as these pairs can have. And a good nice one to splurge some just definitely within product of not just the cold grit of it, but also the product of having something kind of along for the ride within the product is something enjoyable. Definitely nachos type song pitches like that. Some of these type fares just from the pitch, more or less being loaded. Some of these type products. So it's kind of with the pitch. Like I feel like Yo Gotti was put on enough, obviously with him being able to acquire a Gangsta Grillz tape and having like these folks on here, plenty of good backing type folks, the producers and the guests on here pitches like that. It's kind of fair as far as saying, but just within the product, juggling like the concept between like the typical kind of cold grit kind of day grease within these pitches and later on kind of grease any season. What this feels more like a winter type song, matching the fare of Cold Game was kind of pitch. This feels more like a biting type song, but just kind of missed the pitch as far as just particular product, not being afraid to, not being too fastidious or tight-ended to not spend as far as these pitch can happen. So just kind of missed the aspect of like the embellish along with it as far as this pairs can go. Good excellent pitches. Full Time is a nice one as well. It's like a feeling live kind of commerce through the block in town as far as these pitches can go. Just a jovial kind of pickup. This is a jovial type one pitch like that. Pick up some bugles. Some of those type pairs just hustle along the way as far as these pairs can go. Typical kind of hustle as far as these pairs going to get along. Yeah, but Full Time is just feeling awake and full of energy pitches like that. Just a good Tibble type traverse and just out in the wind as far as these fares go. Just to miss like the day grit fares like that. So just Tibble type fair, have some bugles, good fares like that. 25 Years to Life is nice as well. It's like a good local bustle slime to kind of get in like a 2000s DJ Drama kind of fit pitch like that. So it has some mixtape flavor about it. Just some later day kind of grit. Feels more past like 3:30, 4 p.m. pitches like that. Just kind of have some lays and ziggies with an extra type fair pitches like that. Yo Gotti in the 2000s was kind of like folks like Freddie Gibbs and some of those type folks that can kind of, and clips that can kind of get within the grease of it as far as these fares. Young Buck is pretty good within certain senses of doing this as well. Then pitches like that just kind of has like that, the particular fare of actually more miss the fare of like completely miss like the day product of it as far as these fares can happen just within the pitch of just not so much once things are done or like not so much once things are done or kind of like a victory lap, but kind of missed like the typical grease of it as far as the fair's going to go. So good type pitch for some of these type ones. I don't think I've talked about work hard, play hard, but this is nice as well. It's like a good loosen up, kind of finishing up task side of the day as far as these fair's going to go. Just head by a drugstore or club as far as these fair's going to get. So this is kind of the product of just like a typical kind of, this one's just a good flip mode type song in like a light kind of 2000s type sense pitch like that. So it just has the product like the usual kind of grit of the day with an aspect of that being taken care of, just kind of a chummish type bop to kind of get along to like popping off, getting ready to hit up like some bennies with the pitches like that. It's kind of a fizzier type frolic with them pitches like that. Just good overcast and in between type frog, more of like a weekday type clubbing type song pitches like that. Just very much miss the fare, just hitting up like a drugstore, get like some zigzags fares like that, but also with the fare just heading up in the mood for like a hard cider, like some Budweiser fares like that, a Coors, something like that within those tones. Some good type pitches for some of those type products. I don't think I'll talk about Giving Up. Giving Up's like a dope factory kind of 2000s DJ Drama mixtape soul to get within these products. It's very much Jeezy style grit and collect as far as these fares can have them just kind of in the air, just within the pitch behind it. Giving Up feels like Shotas by Joel Santana. Definitely feels like Joel Santana, Jeezy, so and stuff, folks within pitches like that. But just within the product, just like in the wind, just typical kind of hustle type fare with that. It was definitely ripped out of 2005, 2006. This classic vintage DJ Drama, Don Cannon, some of those type folks within it. Drop It Off's a pretty nice one as well within the aspects. This more socialized type ones like a Liddy and Dazzly kind of club heat to get here. Just hella good night, I'd say, within pitches like that. Get to some mingle. Definitely Divas Drop It as far as these pairs can have them. Good excellent product. This is a fat type song as far as these pitches can go. So dismiss the fair. Just a real bedazzling type one. I was almost questioning if this particular song was on Back to the Basics by Yo Gotti, because I feel like the flair behind this just has a little bit more sparkle within it as far as the particular tone's going to have them just within the spiffiness. So it's just good type product to have like for some good snaz. Run up like the drinks tab, get the bust and move a little bit within pitches like that. Get the crunkness activated as far as those pairs can have them definitely within the product of popping off. This is how I say, so looking after it on top of that. I don't think I've talked about Lean On Me either. Lean On Me is like a good club ambience and cool off to kind of have within aspects. Just feeling right and chatty as far as these pairs can go along with it. Just some 2000s kind of demon time fire as far as these pitch can happen. So just within the pitch, definitely would say as far as feeling right, just the particular pitch of having the drink type fare, good excellent products, and just good party favors pitches like that within the tone, but definitely some chattiness within the tone and just enjoying like the glamour and the public as far as these pairs can have along with that. his stock kind of Night Fury as far as those fairs go. It's dope that Slim Thug is on this particular song and Lil Kiki as far as these fairs can go. Excellent type pitches. Le Chat from 3-6 Mafia is on Drop It Off, so that's another good flair about that song. Bo Hagen is on What It Is, which I don't think I've talked about, but yeah, What It Is a good taste of a song here. What It Is, like a red hot kind of early bird 2010s trap banger to get. It's very shrill about this one. It's like a dope hair. This particular song's like a dope heroin kind of Fritos run pitches like that, or Taco Bell run, so these have pitches within it. Just kind of some pals dap as far as these fairs gonna go. One of those typical type ones, a distant smoke type fair with pals amidst like the street lights, just neighborhood corner type noise pitches like that, just red cups abound and some of those type products within it. This particular song feels like an early bird primer to like the drill type sound that was getting ready to pop off 2010, 2011 pitches like that. Definitely feels ripped out of like 2010 or 2012 sounds type pitches within the form of excellent type fair, just a good type pitch of what was getting ready to happen within those products with just an early bird. Definite banging kind of early bird. Trying to think if there's any other songs I haven't talked about on here within pitches like that. I think that basically takes care of it as far as these fairs going to go. I'd say more or less that's the particular fair about it. So maybe I think there's one last one I haven't talked about, which is Back in the Hood. So Back in the Hood is nice as well. Back in the Hood is like a basic late day grind, just typical kind of traffic and malaise, I'd say here, but chipper about it as far as these fairs going to happen. Just a good song to toke some. Just kind of missed the pitch like the day grit kind of within the product, just whether it is a slag type day or at least a day that requires more effort and work as far as these fairs going to happen. So it's kind of the pitch. Yo Gotti has a pretty good like resilience as far as these fairs going to happen, and just realizing that not every single day kind of has the product to like. Just realizing that some particular hustle days you might have to work harder than others. It's a particular pitch of some hustle days possibly having to work harder than others as far as those fairs can happen. But excellent type pitch for that. It's dredgy but resilient as far as those fairs can happen. So just Tibble type grit and just to miss the fair like the slime like the day fair just within pitches like that. So just another post up type one within some of those type fairs, but have the goodies, good fairs like that. Good nice one to easily have like some extra smoke type products, some red eyes kind of going with along with pitches like that. Just would say within products. That's the fair about this particular mixtape. Good excellent blitziness, a 10 out of 10 mixtape pitches like that. Social score I'd probably say within product. The social score might get like a 9.75 just in pitch. I mean, it has the bangers on here. It definitely has these club type bops on here. Has a pretty steadfast amount of hustle pitch like that. It's not to say like it wouldn't. It's kind of more the pitch. It just doesn't have like the anchor as far as like the products, as far as like an immediate time one. It's not like it didn't, but it's just kind of pitch compared to like when you recommend things from like 2006 those type fairs. It's not in any sense a bad type mixtape, but just in terms of something that would be like something within, as far as having like something that's like a usual kind of collective attention, like Lil Wayne or Jeezy in their prime in 2006, Young Dro in 2006, like some sort of beat, like a particular hit producer like Scott Storch, or like some of those type ones that produce like Shoulder Lane and like the Manny Fresh Beat. It's not like it doesn't have these particular productions on here, but just in terms of like some sort of degree of anchor, just doesn't feel as full bound. It's just kind of pitch. Yo Gotti was kind of more wayside, not so much full bound secondary, but just not in like the banner type spotlight. So it's kind of pitch. But I look after the club, but I do like the club weavings on here. I do like the embellish, I like the day fair pitches like that. I miss the tone of just having some pretty muscled type grit with an aspect of getting along pitches like that. Some of these type ones that do have the aspect of really muscling through in the grease of it as far as this fair's gonna happen. Just to miss the pitch, just some good public type fair, some chattiness on top of that, some divas mingle with an aspect between some of these club surfings pitches like that, plenty of smoke type products, some money stacks up, some run it up, good pitches like that. So just the aspect, a little bit of taste like some 2010 side traps. So just kind of pitch. This was kind of a sparky type album, kind of ahead of the times pitch like that. It's kind of just, this is more like the calm before the storm type stuff in terms of what Yo Gotti was going to do, but it's just banging with an aspect that this does not feel half-baked or anything close to that within those pitches. So it's 9.75 social, but only because the collective, just like the casual type appeal, may not be as within the full-bound kind of severeness, but it's just kind of thing. It's still vicious, so 9.75 social. In terms of the future, like Yo Gotti has dropped some recent type stuff. He dropped like another mixtape with DJ Drama in like 2023 or 2024, like I Showed You So, which was called I Showed You So, which was a sequel to this particular product, good fairs like that. But he has other type ones, going to get to some more of these just within the flair behind it. Classic Gangsta Grillz tape, definitely would say in 2000 staple easily enough. There's one more particular song I'm not sure if I talked about, which is Industry Niggas. So if I talk about this one, I'll just snip this. But particularly Industry Niggas, like a public disarray to kind of get here just loaded. But out in the fray, I'd say about this one, as far as these fairs going to happen, is picking up some utility. Fairs like that, I'd say just a plain grit about this song as far as these fairs going to go. So this one, the pitch as far as saying just picking it, just getting like standard tasks within the fair of it, just particularly done. Miss like the hustle, Walmart run, just standard type fairs, getting like toothbrushes or fairs like that within some type pitches. Just the product, the extracurricular, just gotta be out in the day when pitches like that is It's the public kind of playing grid of a day within those aspects, as far as these pros can have just within the tone. It's just kind of the pitch as far as saying just the aspect that just kind of being jarred within a relative type paranoia pitch like that. So this is kind of the ordeal as far as those pros can go. But this is another highlight off this particular mixtape, easy type banger.